It is indeed time for Savannah Lexicon, and I am happy you are listening here. This is WRUULP, Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings Community Radio with Global Soul. And my guests today are from Savannah Pride, Executive Director Regan Drake and Communications Director Richard Walzak, and from First City Network Chairman Michael Plosky. But I have a little housekeeping that I need to do first, and one thing is the old general disclaimer. My goodness, is everybody ready? Because this is exciting. The viewpoints expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of WRUU, its license holder, or its staff. Okay, we got done with that important piece of business there. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in to Savannah Lexicon. If this is your very first time, let me just tell you that Savannah Lexicon is a show designed to inform the listener about important social, political, and cultural issues that shape Savannah, as well as about opportunities to experience things in and around this beautiful city that might bring an added measure of grace and joy to your life. So generally, I bring folks in from the political sphere, the local political sphere, because this is all about Savannah, or social service organizations, cultural organizations, and whatnot, and bring them in, and we just have a conversation. You know, we just talk about whatever's going on and some of the issues that is most prominent on their minds in these particular days. So again, I do appreciate you guys listening to Savannah Lexicon here today, every Tuesday and Thursday from 8 to 9. All right, so let's just get to it. So again, Chairman Michael Plosky, First City Network. How are you doing today, Michael?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you.
Okay, great. And also Executive Director of Savannah Pride, Regan Drake. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for inviting us here today.
I appreciate y'all coming. And also Communications Director of Savannah Pride, Richard Walzak.
Doing wonderful, thank you.
And am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Actually, yes. One of the first
All
to get it
right. Good deal. Excellent. All right, guys. Well, I wanted to bring y'all in. Actually, I've been wanting to bring y'all in for months, and I just, I'm trying to get everybody in. It's amazing how many good guests, good organizations, and good guests there are in this city to bring in, and it's hard to get to everybody. But this actually, the timing is quite nice, as it turns out, because number one, June is recognized as LGBT month nationwide. You know, every thing has got a month in the U.S., more or less. And this is recognized as such for historical reasons, really, and we'll touch on that in just a minute, but also because of the very recent establishment and a work in progress in some sense, I think that's fair to say, huh? The LGBT Community Center that we have established, and First City Network. Now, you guys are the leasee, is that correct?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
I'm very proud to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is located, 1515 Bull, I think?
That is correct.
Which is close to the library, right across the street, as it happens, to the police station there, police precinct. So that's good news. That's good news. So let's start there. First off, just quickly and very briefly in terms of the historical aspect, and either one of y'all can talk very briefly about it, but there were some social protests, shall we say, in both San Francisco, I think, and New York.
Correct.
And what can we say a little bit about that? That's why June, those happened in June, I think, or at least, yeah. And so that's the historical link as to why June was selected as the LGBT month. Can we say a little bit about that?
Well, the most memorable to me, as a very young man then, was the riots in New York, because I was living in New England at the time, and New York was close to home for me. And hearing about these people rioting because they were different than everybody else really struck a chord with me. And it put in me that feeling of, I've got to do something myself, even though it has taken years for me to get around to doing that.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. And
And then on the history side of things, for Savannah Pride, the theme for this year's Savannah Pride is Pride Reignited. And with that, we're putting together, as part of Pride, a expo-type pavilion area that is going to be learning about the history of Pride through the years, and what struggles people have done and what strives they have to gain the freedoms and gain the rights that we do have.
okay. Okay. Good. All right. So we'll start off, and we'll talk a little bit about the LGBT, and I've seen it with different lettering throughout there, as we know. I think the sign, because as I was going by the other day, I think the sign just says LGBT.
Correct.
But then, LGBTQ, whatever. All inclusive.
Yes.
Essentially.
Everybody is always welcome.
Everybody's always welcome, really. So, all right. So, just tell us a little bit about that. It's already you're there. You're leasing the space, right?
That is correct. It all started actually many years ago when First City Network first started. People saying, we need a center.
Mm-hmm.
And over the years, and we've been around for 32 years now.
And by the way, the oldest in the state, I believe.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. The oldest
Oldest LGBT organization in the state of Georgia.
in the state of Georgia. Okay.
But it was talked about, and no one actually took any action. There were some minor actions taken over the years, but last June 22nd, our First City Network's former director, Billy Wooten, gathered together a bunch of people in a living room here in Savannah to talk, and all the different groups to talk about, let's do an LGBT center.
Right.
And since June 22nd to the current, it moved, and we have a good, solid LGBT center up and very soon to be running.
Okay. Excellent. And you guys, Pride, you have an office. You will have an office.
We're going to be having our official Savannah Pride office in the LGBT Center. With Pride, since the inception, when Billy I remember sitting in that living room with Billy and getting all the different groups together, and figuring out how we can all put it together to have a safe space that's home to anybody within the community, or anybody who is looking for a new home.
Okay.
And a lot about what Pride is doing this year is to help benefit the center.
Okay. All right. Excellent. And that I'm just trying to everybody keep your voices straight. I said so. That was Richard Walzak there at the end. They're pitching in too on this, and if I have my information correct, and certainly correct me if I'm wrong, but also in there will be Standout Youth. We'll
Correct.
have some space, and Georgia AIDS Coalition, and Transgender Empowerment Education.
Correct.
So we'll all be in there as well. So,
And we're
excellent.
working on trying to get a few other groups interested in joining us and using our space.
Excellent. Okay. Now, I know that there was a recent fundraiser at Club One, for instance, and that was, how did that go?
That was last Thursday night, and haven't heard the actual results of it yet. But just from between the silent auction and the tips of the performers that they donated to the cause, it was absolutely amazing. It was a fun time. Everybody enjoyed themselves,
I'm
and
sure.
everybody was free to donate. It was absolutely
It was a full
fabulous.
house that night,
Yes.
and it was great to see people from everywhere within our community all coming together for the center.
Excellent. I'm happy to hear that. Any other fundraisers or similar kinds of events that we know set up in the near future, or not really?
Well, with this year, Savannah Pride, the new LGBT Center is one of the key beneficiaries for
Okay.
Pride.
All right.
So I look at it as kind of a party with a purpose. And then we are doing several events throughout the summer and events leading up to the Pride in October, on October 28th.
And of course, the big event is Pride in October, which I think is Forsyth Park, isn't
we're
it?
actually, this year we made some major big changes.
Oh, okay. Well, briefly give us that while we're on the topic.
Well, this year we've have a brand new board on Pride and made a lot
Okay.
of changes to things. Pride has been around in Savannah. This is the 17th year, and it has evolved through different locations and venues and entertainers and such. And this year we have moved to Ellis Square, right in the heart of Savannah.
Okay.
And we've had great feedback with the business associations, city market, and such, to really bring the business community, the LGBT community, our allies all together to a fun, different venue.
Okay, Ellis Square right there at City Market,
Yes.
basically. Okay, excellent. Okay. All right, good. So, various events. While we're also thinking about it, Pride's website is,
SavannahPride.com.
and for First,
FirstCityNetwork.org.
okay, firstcitynetwork.org. Okay, good. Both organizations are non-profits or not-for-profits?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, all right. Good. All right, so how's it been going? I mean, just in terms of trying to get the center ready. I mean, it came in. I mean, you got to work on it and fix it up a bit and whatnot. So
Well, on both the LGBT Center website and the First City Network website and Facebook page, we made a call out for volunteers to come help. Once we had the location. We needed to do a lot. We had a donation made to do some of the construction work that was necessary. And then when the volunteers come in, we had painting crews. We painted for 5 different weekends.
Wow.
Getting the place ready. And there's just been a lot of volunteerism and people saying, yes, this is going to happen and we're going to help.
excellent. Well, that sounds like WRUU, this radio station, as a matter of fact. I mean, that's the way it was here when somebody cooked up the idea in the first place, and the call went out just like that. And so, get some people in here, and it's great the way that people will respond. Yeah, good.
Well, the space is looking great. I can say we were last night, even though it hasn't officially opened yet, we had our first board meeting for Savannah Pride last night in the new LGBT Center.
Oh, okay.
And I hadn't been in the building or seen anything since they had first leased it and construction hadn't started, and is night and day. They've done a phenomenal job of putting it together, and I can't wait to see, because Michael was just telling me that the furniture was coming in later this week, and
Correct.
it's going to be exciting to see.
That'll be good. And do we have an official grand opening date?
July 13th,
July
from
13th.
6 to 9 p.m.
And that is like a Friday or something,
That
maybe?
is
Or- yeah.
Thursday, I believe.
Thursday, I
Thursday?
believe.
Okay. Thursday, the 13th in any case, whatever day of week it is.
Yes.
It's the 13th, and so there's going to be a sort of a
Big
grand opening.
Grand opening and big celebration.
Absolutely great. So the timing for this is great. Then we're really good.
Well,
Yeah.
Can I add in too? I was
Sure.
just talking with the development director for the LGBT Center last night, and he asked me to mention that they're, with this opening party, they're looking to reaching out to the business community, both in the Starland District and anywhere businesses in the area, if they wanted to get involved and help out with the grand opening and be a supporter of the center. They're happy to have you help out, and just to visit their website and send them a message.
Okay. All right.
Exactly.
Good. Yeah, because I'm sure you guys need, can use some support for that sort of thing. Excellent. So, any particular specific plans about the grand opening? I mean, can we say anything about it? It's going to be a party and it's going to be a celebration for
let you
sure.
handle that
So,
one.
is there anything we can say more specifically about it, or?
There's some different things in the works right now for the grand opening.
Okay.
On the 13th. I myself am not on the committee for that, and
Okay.
don't know exact plans for things.
Nor am I.
But
Okay.
I know they are being in the heart of the Starland District, which it has been a really up-and-coming area, and a lot of new businesses opening up in there, and a lot of new
absolutely, yeah.
community type ventures there. So they're really trying to get to be a key integral part of that area.
Good. Actually, I'm going to have on the show, and I'd have to look at my schedule, which is not right in front of my face, but I'm going to have on the show very soon, actually June 27th, I've got Clinton Edminster, and so completely associated with the Starland District and lots of other things, as well as Jason Combs of the Thomas Square Historic District. Coming in, I'm doing a series of shows on various neighborhood associations, and so I'm going to have them come in and talk about Starland in general and the Thomas Square area there. So yeah, that's certainly
Done a wonderful job in that area.
Yes.
an up and coming area that's seen a lot of development, a lot of creative juices flowing in that area for sure. So yeah, it'll be good to talk with them, and I'm sure we'll probably mention this as well. Okay, all right, good deal. Let's do this. Let's briefly, and we'll get back to talking about more specific things too, but let's just briefly get a nutshell kind of bio or what have you about you guys. Just, I think everybody, including myself, is pretty new to Savannah. And of course, in Savannah, if you haven't been here 75 years, you're a newcomer. But Michael, tell us, you're very new because you just took over the position, as it were, for
Director, yes.
as a director. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born and raised in Massachusetts. Took a venture out to Ohio for a short term with a relationship that didn't quite work out.
Been there, done that.
Came back home and met my current partner 30-some years ago, and we ended up moving up to Newmarket, New Hampshire, which is on the seacoast area.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked for the United States Postal Service in a little one-room post office that was extremely tiny and became part of that community. And I think that was actually the start of my activism, because I just became involved in that community so tightly.
Mm-hmm.
And with the way the Postal Service was going, I saw the writing on the wall. I had the years, I had the age, so I decided I was going to retire. On a whim, we took a trip to Savannah, fell in love, contacted a real estate agent.
Easy
2
to do
years
that.
later,
Yeah.
we had a house.
Excellent.
And about a year into me being here, I went to one of the First City Network functions, decided I wanted to get involved, and I became a board member eventually, and now I am the board chair.
Good.
That's
good,
about
good.
it for me.
Yeah, Savannah's an easy city to fall in love with, I'll tell you.
Most definitely.
It really is. Okay, and Richard, how about you?
Well, I was born and raised in Philadelphia, but I've kind of lived all over the place, been a nomad. London, Australia, California.
Wow.
Only just moved here in October of last year, so I am very new to the area. But again,
How
fell in
did
love
you?
with it.
I'm sorry, but I was just going to say how you found out about Savannah, or anything particular bring you to Savannah specifically, because it sounds like you've been a globetrotter.
Well, actually live with one of my best friends in the world. She suffers from lupus. So we wanted to
that's
move to
a
an
shame.
area that had a little more heat for her bones and body, and it's been a great area, great change, and it's
Okay.
definitely been a great experience being here. Everyone is so welcome and friendly, and we love it.
Great. Okay, well, we're glad to have you here, no doubt. Regan?
Well, I have been, August marks 6 years that I've lived in Savannah. It's a similar story to so many others where I just came here on a vacation or weekend away and fell in love and thought I had to move here. I'm originally from Toronto, Canada.
Oh,
and
okay.
have moved around as well myself. I spent almost 10 years in South Florida, and then back up north, New York, New Jersey area, and then 2 years back in the snow. I was like, forget it. We're moving back. And then now this is my 4th year with Savannah Pride.
Okay.
And it's been interesting having been grown up in big cities, in
Right.
big city prides that are on a
Right.
massive scale, and then coming here to Savannah where you have to where it's all about the community.
Yeah, and that's part of what's nice about it. I mean, it's a city that's big enough to have some cultural elements and, you know, and schools, colleges, universities around, and God, the Savannah Music Festival by itself, in my estimation, is just about enough
It's amazing.
to make you want to come, if nothing else did. But it's also actually quite a small city, and so you get that community feeling that maybe is harder sometimes, it seems, to come get in a big hug with in a big city sometimes. But yeah. And you know what? People talk about the summers in Savannah, and okay, it is hot, but man, for me at least, I know that a serious, an upper northern tier or Canadian, northern tier U.S. or Canadian winter would put me in a deep depression. Starting about maybe October, knowing what's coming, I would go into a deep depression every year. But I'm sure you get used to things, but goodness gracious, that would be tough to me.
Getting unused to them is very fun.
Yeah, I bet, absolutely. Okay, and so you're the new director, is
I'm
that
the new
correct?
executive director this year.
Okay, so this year, and that starts on like a calendar year, or
The board positions run on the calendar year,
okay,
and then Pride is in October. That way, it gives the current board almost a full year to put together the Pride festivities and events, and then after Pride, having a sort of rundown of what worked well and what didn't, and so we can bring in new people. One thing with Pride, the board, is we're always looking for volunteers, always looking for people to get involved with the organization.
sure,
Whether they're in the LGBT, under the LGBT umbrella, or allies. Everybody's welcome to come help out.
okay, excellent. I'm sure that's true with First City as well, right?
Most definitely.
And I think that again, working off some information I've come across, and you guys had a good article, for instance, in Connect Savannah. Yes, exactly. That's what it is. And so some of what I'm talking about came out of that. But if I understand it, there's going to be sort of 2 exam rooms. Is that or
Exam rooms probably isn't the most perfect term for
okay?
it. We will be doing HIV testing in the center.
Okay, that's what I'm
And-
trying to get at, really.
And we'll be
So,
doing
yeah.
mental health counseling. And there's actually 3 rooms, 1 large waiting room and 2 smaller rooms where there will be complete privacy.
Okay. So that's certainly a very laudable connection there as well in the new LGBT center, and even for things like substance abuse, alcohol counseling, whatever
Exactly.
kind of counseling as well on that. So that's nice. That's nice. You got some good stuff going on there. Let me just throw this out there. We're getting close to the halfway point, so we'll take a brief break here shortly. But are there any particular issues? Obviously, the center itself and Pride coming up and all those kinds of things. But are there any particular issues sort of on the forefront in the LGBT community these days, particularly local, but even from a national scale? Is there anything that's just kind of in the forefront these days? I know there's a lot of things always that's
I would say there's nothing really in the forefront, but there's in any community, whether
Sure,
it be an
sure.
LGBT community or not, there's always, well, we're different from them. We want to be separate from them. And it's that separatism that we really need to overcome
Right.
because we're all in this together.
There's no doubt about that.
I think
Okay.
that's
That's a good
well
point.
said.
That's a good point. But, I mean, occasionally there are issues that are of particular interest to a particular community. So I ask that whatever the community is. But if, that answer is perfectly legitimate. So,
And the other issue is that the HIV/AIDS epidemic, people now have become very complacent.
this is
And-
true. Yeah, I get that sense
and
as
they
well.
just don't understand. Well, that's thing of the past. It is not a thing of the past. It is current, and be safe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm sure you guys agree with that.
No,
Yes.
definitely.
That
Definitely.
sentiment as well. And obviously HIV is the most lethal, but there's some other nasty stuff out there too. So you need to be you need to be safe in regards to all of that, and certainly HIV is the most deadly.
Well, I also know that with the center, the big focus is on health, both physical and mental services,
Yeah.
and putting the resources out there to the community and to people, because it is something someone regardless of age, whatever, is always hungry for information and needing information for how to treat something, how to deal with something, just wanting to have a safe space to go ask questions
Sure,
that they're going to get
sure.
a right answer from, and that's a big thing for the center, I think.
And we also hopefully we do have in place somewhat of a referral center, and we are going to be building on that referral list so that we
Okay.
can direct people in the right direction for their individual needs.
Okay. Good. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's take a brief break. We're at about the halfway point, and we've still got lots of good conversation yet to come. So you guys listening out there, just hang on. We're not going to be going long. We're going to take a brief musical interlude, and we're going to be back just very soon. So hang on. And we are back, and glad to have you listening this morning. This is WRUU-LP, Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings, community radio with global soul. If you enjoy our programming on WRUU-LP, please support the station with a donation. As an individual, you can give any amount, become a basic station member, or become a serious fan of the station. To check out membership rates and to donate to the station, go to www.org/individual and select to donate monthly or subscribe to an annual membership. Again, to donate to the station, go to www.wruu.org/individual and select to donate monthly or subscribe to an annual membership. Thank you for listening to and supporting WRUU-LP, and thank you for listening to Savannah Lexicon here this morning. We do appreciate it. Just to let you know that WRUU is now collecting items for the annual Savannah Soundings fundraising auction. The auction will run from July 15th to July 30th, with proceeds going to WRUU to continue providing both great music and a voice for the Savannah community. Auction items range from gift cards to vouchers for products and services that are guaranteed to delight and surprise. Tell everyone you know about donating and about the auction. Donations can be made now. For information on donation, contact Trent Kissinger at takissinger@gmail.com. That's TAKISSINGER@gmail.com. All right. Well, we have got some more time here, thankfully, with our guest today, Chairman Michael Plosky, chairman of First City Network, Georgia's oldest LGBT organization. We've got Savannah Pride Executive Director Regan Drake and Savannah Pride's Communications Director Richard Walzak with us today as well. And we're going to be continuing our conversation now. And, of course, just to reiterate, if you're coming in late or what have you, I mean, one of the biggest things and the biggest news is the new LGBT Community Center at 1515 Bull, which is getting all fixed up. It's already leased by First City Network, and Savannah Pride has got some office space in there as well as some other organizations too. However, the grand opening has not occurred quite yet, which, Michael, is when?
July 13th from 6 to 9 p.m.
Okay, pretty much anybody and everybody?
Everybody is welcome.
Everybody is welcome, and in fact, that's kind of the
Theme of our
yeah,
center.
The theme of the center is everybody's welcome in there. I mean, that's the whole idea. It's a safe space for any and everybody. Okay. And just to make the point again, both of the organizations, First City and Savannah Pride, are nonprofit community service organizations. All right. Let's see. What else can we delve into here? Michael, you're new to Savannah, pretty much, and but you fell in love with the city, and you're here, and you're in this position now. So I'm sure you are happy to be in the position and to be in the kind of a real leadership position with this organization.
Yes, I am. As I said, I took over a year ago from former Chair Billy Wooten so that he could shake and move and get the LGBT Center up and running.
Mm-hmm.
And I changed the way the board of directors of First City Network worked.
Okay.
I basically am acting as a coordinator and letting each of the other directors do their specialties. And it's worked out very, very well. We've improved in communication. We've improved in publicity. and the technology that one of our board directors is bringing in is absolutely phenomenal.
It's really good to have a really good tech guy.
Most definitely.
Thank goodness WRUU has somebody other than me in this regard, because I'm not that guy. But that's good. Okay, excellent. And Regan, you guys, or Richard, either one. I mean, what's going on with your organization? Is there another? Of course, we got Pride coming up, the grand big event in October, right?
Yeah,
October
20th. Any
28th.
any other things coming up, kind of in the nearer future?
Well, next month on July 28th, we'll be partnering with the Savannah Bananas to have a fun baseball and Pride night. You can definitely find out more information on that and get tickets on our website, savannahpride.com.
All right, good. The Savannah Bananas.
This is the second year doing it. Last year we had a phenomenal turnout, and we had people coming from not just within Savannah, but different communities outside of Savannah to come who wanted to see a Savannah Bananas game and just thought it was great for partner both together.
Yeah, I can see that. I Savannah Bananas is a whole phenomenon. I mean, I just, it's apparently, I have to admit, I've not been to a game yet, but I've heard people talking about it. There's more excitement about this group than there were, for instance, the old Sand Gnats, who were the previous baseball team that they had. And it just seems like they just do a lot of fun things.
Yeah, the Bananas have brought a lot to Savannah. Their games are a fun experience, not just watching a baseball game, but the whole experience they bring together. And we thought for us, when we had the opportunity to partner with them, we thought it was just a great event that brings together a family-friendly event that anybody is going to be excited to be going to.
Yeah. They really have gotten, it seems like they have more of the community kind of push behind it than maybe other teams in other years might have had. So that's good, and it is a lot of fun stuff apparently. Okay. Anything else particularly? I know you guys are doing various things all the time, really, but any other particular event that we want to mention?
Well, we have a lot of new, fun, changing things going on. We're
Okay.
looking to do a fun night of miniature golf and go-karts and batting for the community to help raise funds for both the Pride and the LGBT Center. Stay tuned for more information on that. We're working with Island Mini Golf and Games for that one.
Okay. Good.
One of the big things First City Network has is its annual fundraiser,
Yes.
which is always the Sunday before St. Patrick's Day,
Okay.
Skidaway Island State Park. It's a Shamrock Festival and oyster roast.
Okay.
It's all the oysters you can eat, all the beverages you can consume,
Ooh.
and for
I like
a
that.
moderate fee.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's just fun and full of different events that just make it a great day for everybody.
Okay.
And despite the weather this past year, where it was cold and windy, we still had a phenomenal turnout because people believe in it and enjoy themselves no matter what the weather.
Excellent.
It was a fun day. It was cold though.
Wasn't it ever?
Well, and then for Pride, just thinking about other events, we have several events that are just about to hit our calendar, both happening in late August, September, that are ramping up to Pride in October. And then Pride, we have basically a weekend-long schedule of events starting on the Thursday night, where there'll be an event Thursday night. Friday night we have a formal fundraiser event that is for the LGBT Center happening, and then Saturday being the festival in Forsyth Park with I'm getting it wrong now. Ellis Square.
I was going to say, wait a minute.
Ellis Square, and
Right, okay.
with an after party, and then we're also in the works of a sidewalk party that will be happening and sidewalk and street party happening on the Sunday afternoon. So
This year
it's-
we'll also be hosting a masquerade ball.
yes.
I'm sorry, one more time.
We'll be having a masquerade ball
A
this year as
masquerade
well.
ball.
Yes.
Okay. And that's
That'll
that's
be
for
on the
Pride.
Thursday night
Okay.
of the Pride weekend.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to try and get y'all back at some time if I haven't scared you off today. I'm going to try and get, either separately or together or whatever it may be, back at some point. So hopefully you guys will come back. We'd love to get you back in here at some point. And it's there's a lot going on, and it's good stuff. It's very good stuff. All right, one last. Now you may have you kind of just had it really, but just in case, is there anything else that, just to wrap up? We're going to go into the final segment here in a few minutes, where I kind of run my mouth and say some things. But any kind of final word here you want to give on things?
I think the biggest thing that I'd like to stress is we've got a brand new website that just launched for Savannah Pride.
Okay.
And it's evolving. We're constantly every day adding new things to it. But whether you're looking for information on Pride and the festivals or the LGBT Center, we've got a resource there on the website.
Okay.
If you want to volunteer to join in with Pride, there's a volunteer sign-up section. And then what's new is we have a Pride LGBT business directory that is going on our website. So if you're a business or organization local in Savannah and you want to get some more exposure, we'd love to partner with you also. So just visit our website and get in touch.
Good. All right. And Michael,
Well, some of the resources for First City Network are basically our Facebook page, which there's a lot of current postings as to what's going on, not only with the LGBT Center, but Pride, with other organizations.
Okay, with First City Network at Facebook. Okay.
At Facebook. And our website is the greatest place to get your start if you're a little timid about walking into a center. Start with the Facebook page or the website, and then come on down to the center.
Okay, good deal. All right, and July 13th, grand opening of the center, so that's going to be a great asset, I think.
Mark your calendars.
Yes, it's going to be no doubt a real celebration, and the center is going to be a great asset for the city. So that's good. All right, guys, I do appreciate it. Listeners, do hang on. I'm going to break away one more time. But then I'm coming back, and I've got some things I want to say and make you aware of. So once again, I won't be gone long. But wait, I'm back. I'm back, and I hope you are listening, because we still got about 10 more minutes, and I do want to have a few words and let you know about some things going on and whatnot. And while I'm thinking about it, one thing I want you to know is that that my guest coming up, I do want you to know about some of my guests coming up. Coming up Thursday here on the Savannah Lexicon, I have got Freddie Patrick, the Executive Director of the East Side Concerned Citizens. So we want to know about what is foremost on the minds of the East Side Concerned Citizens. I am doing a kind of a series of shows with various neighborhood associations because, you know, these are the people. These are the people who are living in the community and have interests that are kind of, some of which are focused on their particular neighborhoods, as well as issues that are of concern to everyone who lives in Savannah. So East Side Concerned Citizens on Thursday. Next week, next Tuesday, I've got a different neighborhood organization. I've got Clinton Edminster out of the Starland District and Jason Combs from the Thomas Square Historic District, who is a part of that neighborhood organization. And let's see, the next Thursday, the 29th, I've got Tom Kohler of Savannah Citizen Advocacy. Be an interesting discussion with Mr. Kohler, who has done so much to empower and give a voice and aid in communities that might otherwise not necessarily have that sort of voice available to them. July 4th, yes, indeed, I will be here on the 4th of July, and I hope you will be too. And I'm going to have Dr. Christopher Hendricks, the interim head of the Department of History of Armstrong State University, and we're going to talk about, what do you think? We're going to talk about America's Declaration of Independence and the cultural and political and social issues of the time. He knows it well. He's a scholar of that period of American history, and so we're going to have a very apropos conversation on July 4th, Independence Day, with Dr. Christopher Hendricks. And then July 6th, getting well ahead of ourselves here, but July 6th, I'm going to have District 3 Alderman John Hall to come in and talk about not only his district and issues of particular concern to that community, but also just in general Savannah's plans that are going on and issues that have been brought up and all of those kinds of things that should be of interest and concern to all of us, and more great shows after that. But we've got a great lineup here for Savannah Lexicon, and certainly hope that you will tune in and be aware of that. Now, just want to let you know, as I normally do, of some events and things of interest that are coming up in the near future, and some opportunities to be involved in the community and that sort of thing. Do want to let you know that free HIV testing, June 27th through 29th. Coastal Health District HIV Prevention Program. Free HIV testing from 3 to 7, the 27th and 28th, and from 10 to 2, the 29th, at Walgreens, 2109 East Victory Drive. No appointment necessary. However, if you want to call, 912-644-5828 to find out about that. And as we found out here with Mr. Plosky and the First City Network and the LGBT Center, when that does open, which is not quite yet, they will have HIV testing accessible through that organization as well. Savannah blood drives are going on. That's always a good cause, always something that you can do for the community. And they have drives Wednesday from 10 to 3 at Chatham County Courthouse, and from noon to 7 at 25 Tibet Avenue. Thursdays and Fridays at Tibet Avenue, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. And other dates as well. So you can call 1-800-733-2767 and find out about that. And I'm sure also you could go to the website, but probably the easiest is the 800-733-2767. So a good activities to get involved with there from the health standpoint. Let me also let you know that, excuse me, today there's several interesting things going on. There's actually a crabbing field trip. Yep, a crabbing field trip. And that's actually in about an hour, 10 to noon today at the UGA Marine Education Center and Aquarium. And that's not a free event, but it's an interesting and enjoyable and educational event. And it's kind of behind the UGA Aquarium. But if you want to find out about that, Kayla Clark is the contact person at 912-598-3345. Interesting event there. Also, here's another interesting event, and I think should be both enjoyable and interesting. Is that it's an open house at 2 Savannah fire stations today. So that definitely should be interesting. You can actually go and just kind of meet and talk with some firefighters. That is from 6 to 8 p.m. today at Station 2, 5 Skyline Drive. Also at Station 3, downtown here in the Historic District at 121 East Oglethorpe. Station 8, 2824 B Road. And Station 13 at 11 McKenna Drive. So you can just go out there and talk to some firefighters, and maybe you're going to feel inclined to tell them thank you for their service, because they certainly do provide an important service and a dangerous one as well. Lots of opportunities in the Savannah area to get involved in various kind of worthwhile organizations and volunteer kind of activities. We were talking about giving blood. American Red Cross also needs volunteers to transport blood products to patients in need. So that too is another American Red Cross activity that you can be involved in. By the way, you can use Red Cross vehicles. So it's not that you have to actually drive your own vehicle. It's you have use of their vehicles to deliver blood products to patients in need. More information, 912-651-5321, 912-651-5321. That is an additional way to help the American Red Cross, which, let's face it, is unquestionably a quite worthwhile organization here and nationwide as far as that goes. Another thing that the American Red Cross can use, administrative office support, as well as help during a disaster. Training is available for those kinds of things, and including a disaster action team that they have to get to be ready in those kinds of circumstances when we have something nasty like Matthew coming or other kinds of disasters, and the disaster action team jumps into action and provides various kinds of help to families, also in terms of like house fires and other kinds of disasters, whatever can be deemed a disaster. is where they help there as well. Okay, well, we are just getting very close to closing out, but I do hope you'll continue to listen. We have these days some very good programming. Following me at 9 o'clock is Background Briefing with Ian Masters, who's a BBC-trained investigative journalist. He does some really, really good stuff. We also have, following him is Amy Goodman in Democracy Now! At 10. So Background Briefing 9 to 10, Amy Goodman 10 to 11. This is WRUULP, Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings, community radio with global soul. And thank you for listening to Savannah Lexicon. Tune me in again on Thursday, and we'll